Hi, this is Simon from whatatheyselling.com. I'm here today to show you something that I think you're going to be really interested in. We've built this neat little tool called Auction Spy. One common problem that I hear from people who are new to eBay and internet marketing, and also from experienced eBayers and IMers alike, is what products should I be selling? What's actually going to make me money? What products should I be creating? What products should I be sourcing? This is true whether you're creating info products, whether you're trying to source something from China, look around garage sales, yard sales, whatever it is. That's always the question people want to know the answer to. So Auction Spy allows you to research and actually come up with that answer. As an aside, I just want to add, I think research is one of the most overlooked pieces of the whole eBay and internet marketing puzzle. Don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about getting into analysis paralysis or anything like that. I'm talking about actually making progress. I'm talking about starting on a project, starting with a product with a really high level of confidence that you're actually going to make money on it, and that can come through research. I think as the great Gordon Gekko from the movie Wall Street said, I don't like long shots, I bet on sure things. Well, similarly, I like to know before I start anything, before I sell anything, before I create a product, that I'm actually going to make money. So why don't we run through a scenario. I'm just going to jump over to eBay right now, and I'm going to pick a category here. Why don't we go with used cell phones? I think that's a hot category. Let's take a look. So okay, wow, 54,000 items for sale right now. I think that classifies as a hot category. You can see all the various different results down here. Actually, one tip I'd like to share with everyone: if you click on Customize View here, and then click on Seller Information, you'll note that I've got Seller User ID and Seller Feedback turned on. That's not by default, I don't believe. I think you have to go in and set that up. I like to do that, and what that shows you, as you can see in the main search results here, is it shows you the number of feedback items this seller has received in the last 90 days, as well as the positive rating. So this guy's received 442, all been positive, which is nice. This guy's received, a little over 7,000 and about 99.3, not bad, not too shabby. And we can see we've got all sorts of sellers here. Everybody from this guy with 4 and 3, and this guy with 5. Probably outselling their buddies or their spouse's phone while they're not looking. Up to some bigger players. Here we got some of the 7,000s, the 4,000s, got a 16,000, and oh my word, look at this guy, almost 80,000. Who is he? He's Phone Store USA. Yes, he probably is the phone store to the USA with 80,000 pieces of feedback in the last 90 days. So not too shabby there. So why don't we go in and take a look at him. He's a massive seller, but I think that will prove interesting. So with no further ado, let's bring up Auction Spy. So as you can see, it's a very simple tool, very easy to use. I'm just going to go through the basic features on it right now. There's a few more bells and whistles, but I think this should be enough for people to get going in. We're simply going to enter Phone Store USA, make sure I spell that right. We're simply going to enter the seller ID of the eBay seller we're interested in getting some more information on, and we'll hit the go button. So depending on the size of the seller, this can take anything from 2 seconds to 2 or 3 minutes. This guy's a pretty big seller, and it's probably going to take a minute or two. So I'm just going to pause this while we get the feedback for this guy. Okay, and we're back. As you can see, this guy is a massive seller, but very interesting. So in the last 90 days, he's received feedback on total sales of about $371,000, and that's about, what's that, 4,300 individual sales. Now, something for those of you that are familiar with eBay will know is that not everybody who purchases actually leaves feedback. In fact, in my experience, I think it's fair to say about 50% of the people actually leave feedback. I know this certainly varies by category, but over several years I've found 50% to be a pretty good approximation. I'm sure there's some higher and some lower, but as a ballpark figure, it's pretty good. So applying that 50% formula, looking at the actual total sales, we can estimate, and looking at the seller second column here, that this seller has done about, oh my word, almost $750,000 of sales in the last 90 days. So that's for 3 months. So if we multiply that by 4, we can see what his full year sales, assuming he maintains that run rate. But that would be about $3 million of sales on eBay alone. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Now if we go over here and take a look at this third column, it gives us a couple of interesting stats. It tells us that all his sales, they're actually 476 unique items he's selling, and that's unique by the item title, which is certainly very helpful. And then some really interesting, the next one I think is a very interesting number. For those of you that are familiar with the Pareto rule or the 80-20 rule, something that's very common in nature, business and statistics in particular, we look at the top 20% of items that he's selling, and we can actually see that he's done about 270 grand's worth just from the top 20 items. And that's, you know, when you look at his total sales of 370, he's done almost 270 of those. You see the vast majority come from a small amount, and that's what these items in green here on the results summary are. If I just scroll down, you can see all the green ones, and then, you know, that's the top 20%, and then you start getting down into the long tail. Not that there's not money in the long tail, but I think it's a different business model than at least what we're going after here. He's doing a lot of onesies and twosies. Certainly not making up volume, certainly not getting any of the benefits of those kind of stuff. But when you come up here, you can see he's really starting to crank it out. Interestingly, these, you know, these A867s, whatever these type of Samsung phones are, if you look, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, first 6 of them are his top sellers. So they seem to be a very hot item right now. If you could source a few hundred of those, you could bang out a few $1,000, I've no doubt about it. And then as you click on these items, if you look down the bottom here, let me just move that up so everybody can see. If you look down the bottom, you can see it changes, and you can actually see all the individual pieces of feedback for that item. So in this case it's the LG Shine, and if we look at the bottom, you can see all the different pieces of feedback we received for that guy. So that was what I want. Oh, one more thing. If you are a data hound, and I know there's some of you out there and you like to munge and crunch the numbers in all sorts of exotic ways, we also give you the feature to export all the raw data out in a CSV comma separated format, so you can load that into Excel or OpenOffice or whatever your tool of choice is. Anyway, that was what I wanted to show you. You know, we use this tool incessantly in the office. We can go into practically any brand new niche and any brand new category on eBay, and in 30 minutes we can take it apart and understand where the money is. It's a very, very powerful business model. I don't like to reinvent the wheel. I like to see what's already selling. I like to see what's making money, and go in and then replicate that, improve upon it, and make even more money. And you can do that in physical products, you can do that in info products, you can do that in software, you can do that in used products. Whatever market you're in on eBay, if you're passionate about making money in that particular niche, you need this tool so that you can find out what are the hottest items you should be selling. Anyway, I'd like to say thanks for watching. This is Simon from whatatheyselling.com.